March 2021. After a year since the first lockdown was set into place in the Netherlands, we as a species have directly experienced the profound impact that a tiny virus can have on how we live our lives. Its impact on the social and the economic realm has reflected understandably also on how we feel and experience our lives. What last year in March was framed as a sprint has become a marathon, and one that we do not have the certainty of when it will end, and one that can easily be followed by another. After all, we are not lacking reasons for concern. Climate change, the massive waves of migrations, the overpopulation of urban settlements, or the technological advances that transform our society. The comfortable lives that we have created here in the Western world are now changing. Slow, gradual change or unpredictable, acute change, but change nevertheless. The question is, are we equipped as a society to adapt, transform, and make the best of these changes? And more than that, are we able to grow stronger and forge a new way of life that is even better than before? In this course, we focus on neighborhoods and on their role in this process of adaptation and growth in the face of change. What makes a neighborhood so interesting is first the fact that it is where we spend a significant amount of time, day and night. Neighborhoods are also meeting points of various networks that are linked to their residents. Networks that include work colleagues, friends from the soccer club, or virtual ones. These diverse networks carry different resources and overlap within this space that has also a particular emotional resonance, because is where the home is. As such, neighborhoods are big enough and small enough to become cohesive, trustworthy communities. And research has shown that in places where people are trustworthy, the residents learn that it is safe to be kind and to engage in positive transactions with their neighbors. Their expectation is that, just as they are behaving in a positive way towards their neighbors will do the same towards them. As a result, people are encouraged to do more for the general good. They develop a feeling of responsibility to act and get involved in community-wide actions that benefit everyone. Such research findings are particularly relevant because we also know that poverty comes together with many other social problems: unsafe environments, places that look deserted and unfriendly, that lack adequate services and infrastructure. These problems that cluster together in poor neighborhoods make it very hard for residents to enjoy a good life. However, in poor communities that are trustworthy and where residents help and care about each other, poverty does not come with the usual perils of crime, unsafety, or disorder. In fact, such communities seem to be protected by such problems. Such findings are the building blocks of this course. Its core message is that what makes a place a resilient community is its social fabric. If you think about individuals as threads, when woven together, the resulting fabric is more than the piling up of the individual's threads. Each thread contributes to the fabric, but the fabric can do what threads cannot. It can provide warmth and protection to those who use it. With this framework in mind, we define resilience as the process that implies recovery but also thriving, as in learning and doing better in the face of change. For individuals, the goal of this process is simply to live a good life, a life with meaning and purpose that allows learning and growth. It's not only about surviving, but it is about reaching one's potential. Similarly, for communities, the goal of the process is to create an environment that allows individuals living now and in the future to have a good life and thrive despite the changing dynamic environment. Adding all this together, we define sustainability as an intentional act of developing the capacity for resilience of communities. It is not a passive way of only reacting when risks occur. Instead, this definition recognizes that change is inevitable and risks are multiplying in society, and communities take on an active role of strengthening those capacities that allows them to support their residents in forging a good life for themselves. In this view, trustworthy, cohesive communities have the potential to convert the rich range of resources embedded in the residents' networks in resources that are available for everyone. Such resources are invaluable for helping residents to meet their needs and live up to their potential. Think here about resources such as information about jobs, knowledge about solving particular problems, the time and willingness to volunteer in community-wide actions, or just lending a helping hand in case of need. To conclude this presentation, the argument of this course is that developing trust, social cohesion, and participation is a key step toward increasing the capacity of neighborhoods to become sustainable and resilient communities.